Get your concealed carry permit online in 1 hour with armvirginia.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, hey, I'm Luke from Arm Virginia. Go ahead and click the link in the description to go to our website and follow along. This video is going to be about how to get your concealed carry permit in Virginia. If you're not in Virginia, the process might be a little bit different because laws vary state to state. Today we're going to talk about the 3 steps to getting your concealed carry permit in Virginia. We're also going to cover the total cost to get your concealed carry permit, as well as the timeline, how long it's going to take you to actually get it from the point that you start. I'm going to go into detail on all of the 3 steps, but let's just go over what they are first. Number 1 is to get a certificate for completing a firearm safety course. Number 2 is to fill out a form. And number 3 is to print out that form as well as your certificate and then deliver it to your local circuit court. Now, I had always thought that getting your concealed carry permit was a big deal. It was super hard, took a lot of time. You had to go to a class, which took a week or a month, or, I thought it was a really big process, but it turns out it's actually not. So first, let's talk about step 1, which is getting a certificate for completing a firearm safety course. There are a bunch of different ways to do this. If you've already completed a firearm safety course or a hunting course that goes over firearm safety or anything like that, you might want to check and see if you got a certificate that you can use to show that you've gone over basic firearm safety. But assuming that you're just, an average person who hasn't already completed firearms training, the easiest way to do it is to take an online firearm safety course. It costs like $60 and takes less than an hour to complete. I'll link to the one that I took below. It's like a 40-minute instructional video with an 11-question open note quiz at the end. You can take the whole course for free, and you only have to pay at the end if you pass. Also, one other nice thing, when I was doing research for myself and trying to figure out how to get my concealed carry, I was like, can I really do an online firearm safety class? Is that going to be accepted? Are they going to have any issues with that or anything? The website that I'm recommending down there, link in the description, is great because they actually have a guarantee that if for some reason they don't accept the certification from the course, then you'll get a full refund. So that's just like a nice little peace of mind thing. But yes, an online firearm safety course is perfectly acceptable, and they accepted mine no problem. Once you've done that, you can move on to step 2, which is to fill out a long, complicated looking form. It's actually pretty easy, but of course, being a government form, it's gonna look really complicated. I'll put a link to the government website where you can find the form below. You should be able to just click on that and it'll open up. I may also make a separate video just about that form, trying to sort of explain it and make it simpler for people. And if I've already done that, then you can click up somewhere in the corner. Probably there'll be a pop-out thing that you can click to go see that video. But if nothing's popping out, then probably I haven't done it yet. Essentially, it's just filling out some info like your name, address, some contact info, and confirming that you're not a criminal, etc., etc. If you are a criminal, then you're gonna have to look into some of this stuff yourself, because this is just to simplify it for the average person who is not. Now you should be ready to move on to step 3, which is basically just print everything out and deliver it to the circuit court. So you've already got your online firearm safety course certificate, so you print that out. You've got your form that I was talking about before in step 2, so you're gonna print that out. You're also gonna wanna sign it, and an additional thing that you might have missed is with that form, you also wanna print out a piece of paper and then just put on it all of the addresses that you lived at. Just, open up Google Docs, Word, something like that, put it addresses I've lived at in the past 5 years, and then put in those addresses, because that's also part of the form, as it wants to know those addresses. Once you got those printed out and the form signed, you're ready to take it down to the circuit court. But how do you know which is your circuit court? Because circuit court sounds confusing and scary. It's not actually that hard. There's a website that you can go to, and you can just click, and it'll say, these are all the cities, and you click your city, and then bam, that's the address right there. So I will link that website down below as well. Very easy. You just take that address, paste it into Google Maps, and go there. Just walk in and be like, yo, I'm applying for my concealed carry permit. And where do I drop that off? And they'll point you in the right direction. Also, just a heads up, they don't let you bring electronics into the building, so leave your phone in the car, leave your wireless earbuds in the car, anything extra. When I went there, I had to make like 3 trips back to the car because I kept forgetting about electronic devices that I had on myself. When you're turning in all the paperwork, they used to charge like a $50-ish processing fee, but they have lowered that, and now it's only a $15 processing fee, which is great. I think $15-ish. I think there were some other tiny little fees on there, but less than $20, you're good. And that's really all you need to do. Once you've gotten a certificate for completing a firearm safety course, you've filled out that form, and you've turned it all into your local circuit court, that's it. You should be getting your concealed carry permit in the mail within 45 days. If they did decline you for some reason, then, you need to look at that. But if you're any normal person, they shouldn't decline you. Virginia is a will issue state, so as long as you're not a criminal and you filled everything out properly, you're gonna get it. So what is the total cost to get your concealed carry? It's gonna be right around $75. You got $60 for your online firearms training course, assuming that you haven't already had that, and then $15 for the application fee to just turn in all your paperwork. And that's really it to get your concealed carry. But if you are considering, well, what is the cost going to be if I'm getting a gun and if I'm getting ammo, well, then it's going to cost a little bit more. I carry a Ruger EC9s, which is a really good gun that isn't too expensive. I got it because it's very tiny, and being able to carry it is one of the most important things for me. It's very similar to the Ruger LC9s, which is a really, really good gun. It's just that this one has sights that are made more cheaply, so, you know, it's not as good for long distance stuff, but I don't really mind the bad sights because this is a concealed carry gun. I'm not going to be, like, shooting targets from half a mile away with it. You can pick one of these up for around $180 to $250. I got mine for just under $200. Plus, look at that. Phone, gun, looks exactly the same. And as far as ammo goes, range ammo is like 20 cents-ish a bullet, and then carry ammo is more like $1 a bullet. For practicing, you want to use mostly range ammo because it's cheaper, but for carrying, you want a little bit nicer ammo in your gun. And why is it that you want to carry around nicer ammo? The reason is because you, the person that's carrying, are responsible for all of your bullets. So if there ever is a situation where you need to use your gun, say there's a bad guy coming at you for some reason and you pull out your gun and you shoot them, if you're using range ammo, it's going to go through them and the person behind them and the person behind them. And if those two people behind them are innocent, that's not good because you're responsible for hitting them because you pulled it out. Even though you stopped the bad guy, you're still responsible for any damage that is done with your gun. The good thing about using nicer ammo, hollow points, is that when you shoot them, they're a lot less likely to go through a person and then another person and another person. With a hollow point, you shoot it, it kind of mushrooms out when it hits, so the bullet gets bigger, which slows it down, so it's more likely to stop when it hits one person, and it's just going to go bang, hit them, and hopefully sort of expand inside of them, and then if it comes out the other side, it's not going to come out with enough force to penetrate through a bunch of other people. Plus, also in that sort of expanding, it does more damage to the person that it hits, so you're doing more damage to the person that you're aiming at, and hopefully not going through them and hitting anybody behind them. So that's why you want to pay a little bit more to just have a couple nice bullets to carry around with you. You don't need to practice with them. It's good to practice with a couple and just sort of see how they feel because they might feel slightly different, but you don't need to, you know, practice with really fancy ammo. You can practice with basic, you know, range ammo just to get the feel of it, how your gun works. But then for carrying, you are going to want to have that nicer ammo just to protect yourself. Nice hollow points like you're going to want to carry come in like small packs, let's say 20. So that's going to be like $20-ish for a pack of nice rounds to carry with you. And then for range ammo, let's just say you want to get a big pack of 200 just to do some practice shooting with and sort of get a feel for the gun. So that's going to be like, you could definitely get 200 bullets for less than $50. So if that's what you're considering as your concealed carry, you know, the permit, the gun, the ammo, and some more ammo to practice with, then it's going to be more like $345 for all of it. And that's assuming $75 for the permit, $200 for a Ruger EC9s, $50 for 200 rounds of range ammo, and then $20 for a nice pack of hollow points that you can actually carry around with you. So $345 total. Really not that bad when you consider all you're getting. Also, if you do happen to get a Ruger EC9s like this, I really like it. This is a great holster for it. I'm just going to link that below on the off chance that you do go with it because it's a great little holster and it's like $20. One other thing that I want to mention, even if you are a concealed carry permit holder, you do have to carry that permit with you as long as you're carrying a gun, just like you need your driver's license when you're driving, you need your concealed carry permit when you're carrying. And if you don't have it with you, then you can get charged a fine and, you know, it's not a good situation. So just bring it with you, throw it in your wallet, you'll be good. And that's really all you need to do to be able to get your concealed carry permit in Virginia. And it's really totally worth it to be able to defend yourself and your family if you ever need to. Don't put it off. Just take an hour, take your firearm safety course, fill out that form, and then drop the paperwork off. It's very quick, and then you'll be ready whenever you need it. Also, I'd strongly advise that you look into the rules of where you're allowed to carry, where you're not allowed to carry. This video is not to keep you out of trouble from carrying it in a place that you shouldn't. Like, you know, that's on you. You got to figure that out. So if you're trying to get your concealed carry permit, hopefully this is very helpful to you and all the information is right there neatly in one place. But you are going to want to look into other stuff and make sure that, you know, you're following all the laws and everything about where you're allowed to carry. Hope it's helpful. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to message our Facebook page. There's a link down there. If the information in this video was helpful, go ahead and like us on Facebook, Arm Virginia. Like the video, share the video with any of your friends, you know, that it could be helpful for. Subscribe, turn on notifications, all that good stuff. We'll see you back here with another video in a little bit.